I can see the future. Bathrobe session 157. What's our...
Two wild and crazy guys!
Stevie Martin. I had dinner with Steve a few weeks ago, and did I have his banjo album here? It's in the other room. Too bad. He's got a new banjo album out, so look for it. It's great. Paul McCartney does a track on it.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And Danny Aykroyd, what can I tell you about Danny? That was we each had a small dressing room near 8H in the rim. I was in my dressing room once. It was my first year on the show. I was sitting there waiting for Weekend Update, knock at the door, I open the door, it's Aykroyd. He says, "This was my dressing room, I just wanted to see it again." I thought, oh my God. That's when it really hits you that you're on SNL. But the way he came into the room was so funny. He said, "Hi, I'm Da Aykroyd." That tells you everything about Danny, how quirky he is. I'm Da Aykroyd. Perfect. Ever tell you that story about him and Belushi, Meg Alley? That's my favorite SNL story. You know, SNL's you work your ass off and then you get to that party Saturday night and you're so wired for sound that you want to get loaded just to wind down a little. I wasn't a drugger, but you know, you want to toss a couple of vodkas or something, and that was when I got there. And quite frankly, it hadn't become sedentary. It never has, but it was more familial in nature by the time I got there. It's not like we were actively doing drugs. You know, Belushi actually bought himself a hospital bed, and he used to sleep in his room because he was convinced he was going to die there. That's so funny. They were grimly funny, but sleeping in a hospital bed. But back in the halcyon days of SNL, the parties were the biggest events in New York. I mean, it was standing room to get into those parties. You remember when SNL first came on the scene, it was an explosion, and everybody wanted to go meet those cats at the party. So there's a party somewhere in Midtown, and it's towards the end of the season, so it's almost summer, sweltering New York night. Throngs lining the red carpet to get into the party. And this chick faints in the heat. She's laying on the red carpet, and Belushi and Danny pull up, no doubt loaded from their limo, smoking a joint or something. The car opens up, they step out, and there's this huge thing. Now, you got to remember, these kids are making $650 a week at this point, Danny told me. All of a sudden, they're the most famous people in America. They're just like guerrilla comics who had no idea this was about to explode like this. So they're loaded, they jump out. Crowd goes batshit. There's a woman laying there. The crowd starts encroaching in. They're loaded, and they don't want to, no doubt, they don't want to linger with all the cops there trying to help the woman. So they sort of run around the woman and just go right past her and go into the party, and the crowd starts booing, viewing them to be not of the people at that point. And I can see they're probably just thinking, God, the cops all over the place. Danny turns around and he looks at the crowd and he says, "Hey, if you can't handle a MIG, stay out of MIG Alley." Oh, God, that's funny. That's such a funny shorthand for the fast lane and how the fast lane often is oncoming, let's put it that way. Enjoy these samples of the Bathrobe Sessions, a weekly video available only to members of the DMZ, the Dennis Miller Zone, on DennisMillerRadio.com.